Welcome into the casual gaming conversation, and more importantly, welcome into the second annual Co-op 64 Awards. Today, we are going category by category and revealing the winners, the top three for best character, best indie game, best art design, best 7 out of 10, and so much more.
I was like, where are you going? I have half of these things, Connor.
Man. Before we get into that, Nick, how are you feeling?
Doing all right, man. I'm definitely coming on the other side of the sickness at this point. I'm on the back end, back nine, hopefully. Doing all right. We had a great time playing Date Everything yesterday, dude. That was a wild stream.
I wasn't able to tune in. I was with family, so
dude, it went well. What a ridiculous video game. Yeah. What a batshit insane video game.
Did Brady have fun with it?
Oh yeah, we had a blast. Yeah. Also, roll credits. Second game Brady's beat this year.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That was the joke, ongoing joke. But we did roll credits on it because you can just leave the house whenever you want to. The game will end. So yeah, another game that I beat this year. Connor, you got to catch up.
I think I'm ahead of you.
You are so far ahead of me. Yeah. I will say
it's all Vita and PSP.
I was about to say like this year I played less games by a considerable amount. I played more hours of video games this year than I did last year.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, especially because when you look at like
Persona
2 and Persona, yeah,
it just adds up. Where I'm so curious. I haven't checked my Xbox Wrapped yet. It's gotta be crazy. There's a way to get like through ID Xbox or something. I saw something on Twitter that you could go and get that done. Yeah, because I need to know. Like last year, you were able to get your Xbox stats.
Yeah, but they announced this year that they weren't doing it for budgetary restraints.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about Xbox tomorrow.
Raise the prices. Oh my gosh. All right. But I'm doing all right. Big Pats game tonight. As always, go Pats. And doing great. I'm excited to hop into this. We got no hot take today, no draft, all gas, no breaks.
Yep.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How do you feel about the Pats Ravens matchup tonight? I don't feel great. I feel like we could very easily lose this game. The Ravens are such a hard team to really kind of predict like where they're gonna fall on a week-to-week basis. It seems like some weeks, like last week, they absolutely stomped whoever they played.
They beat the crap out of the Bengals.
Okay, yeah. Which I think the Bengals are a good football team, but I don't know if they're like a great football team. So I don't know what that means necessarily.
I've never seen a team that is 11-3 this disrespected. Makes no sense in my mind. We're projected to lose this game, by the way.
Yeah,
the Ravens are favored
ridiculous. By 3. That doesn't make it by 3.
By 3. Well, they're at home, so it's a toss up, and they're at home. Normally 3 points is what you get for playing at home and everything. I think that's asinine, in my opinion. It's like the Patriots, like they lost to the Bills by 4 points. I understand it was in catastrophic fashion. It was
a bad collapse,
but they lost by 4 points.
Yeah.
To, I believe right now, like the second or third favorite for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they lost by 4 points.
And in the first half, we looked like the best team in the league.
Yeah, we looked exactly. And once again, Josh Allen, freak of nature. He just got announced to the world that he was being a dad. He had the dad strength game and everything. Like, good for you, dude. I'm happy for you. I like the Bills. I like Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen.
Yeah, like great guy.
It's hard to really hate anybody in our division, which I know is a little weird because you're supposed to have those rivalries, but we've just absolutely dumpstered these other teams for 20 years straight. That like I feel bad for the Jets. I feel bad for the Dolphins. Bills less so, but because I like Josh Allen, I'm always kind of like if we're not in the playoffs and they're in the playoffs, like, I would like to see Josh Allen.
I want them to beat the Chiefs. I want them to Bengals. Sure. I will always root for ahead of anyone else other than the Pats. But like, I don't know. This is just a weird one where it's like I can't believe how disrespected the Pats are like why.
The schedule, you know exactly.
Yeah, well, the schedule, like we dumpstered every bad team. Like we've done what we're supposed to do. Whereas the Ravens, they get like played tough all the time by like the Steelers, by the Browns.
Steelers, I think, are a good football team.
Steelers are
a well-coached football team.
Mike Tomlin, baby, he's the Todd Howard of football. I had to do the mental math there too. Of like, geez, but no, it's a fun year. It's been the most fun watching football I've had in a very long time.
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't talk about football on the show at all, like before, because guess what? We had no reason to talk about football before. But now it's just that weekly endorphin hit because we shoot these on Sunday mornings. It's like, let's freaking go, dude. I'm very excited.
Nice to get a primetime game. Other than that, though, playing more GT7, doing terrible at it. I'm learning the ropes, though. I'm excited to actually become decent at this video game. More Metro Awakening, really loving that, but gotta kind of put pedal to the metal on Metroid Prime 4 over the holiday. Get that done before our Game of the Year discussion. But let's just hop right into it.
Real quick, I need to say, I got to update the people. It's a full obsession with Forza Horizon 5. We're so back. The thing that I will be doing...
Get into GT7 with me, and then we can play it together.
The thing I will be doing, though, is putting it down. Because I care about our Game of the Year discussion, and I'm really trying to figure out where Mario Kart World will land on my top 10. Because here's the thing.
That's wild.
Connor is not ready for my top 10. Y'all aren't ready for my top 10.
I don't think anybody's ready for my top 10 either.
Well, that's the thing where it's like, I'm so curious where it lands on when we release our Game of the Year podcast. I need you to question and try to understand what is the more egregious top 10 between the two of us.
Nobody's going to like my top 10. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people are not going to like mine. But just know
it's coming from the heart. This is my top 10 through and through. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not playing into the fact that, like, oh, this game's bigger and more well-beloved across the board. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that. I'm just talking about my personal preference, about what I enjoyed this year, and I'm not going to let anything else sway me.
Connor, is Dispatch in my top 10? Is Peak in my top 10?
I think Dispatch should be in your top 10, based off of how you talk about it.
I like me some Dispatch. It's a 8.5 out of 10 and everything. I gave a lot of games 8.5s.
I do not think Peak is in my top 10. We didn't play it enough.
Yeah, I know. It's so much fun, though.
The conversation could be made for rematch, though. I really had a lot of fun.
We're going to talk a lot of rematch today, I think.
Agree.
Too. Yeah. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. So let's just hop into housekeeping and blaze through that real fast. Not a lot going on, but because of the holidays and everything, so it's a little bit different than it usually is. So this show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. You can get this show 3 days early. You can get the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early, and you can get bonus episodes of the podcast each and every week. We're doing breakdowns of each of the major console developers' years. So we're talking about PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox and grading their 2025. So we just did the PlayStation episode. We're doing the Xbox One next. Nintendo after that.
Raise the prices, Connor. Raise the prices. We're so back.
We also have
this Xbox episode.
We also have spoiler cast in the backlog for Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Split Fiction, and South of Midnight. That was an old one.
Dude,
Hades 2. So if you are enjoying those games and want somebody to talk about them in full spoilers, you can go and check those out on the bonus episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation on Patreon. You can get at the next highest tier, Recollecting Retro, Co-op 64 podcast, and 2 bonus additional TikToks every other week over at the $10 tier. And then at the highest tier, you can get your name read at the end of each and every podcast, and you get the opportunity to write in to be the 4th topic on the Co-op 64 podcast. On the Twitch side of things for this week, we are only streaming on Monday. Nick is playing Final Fantasy X. Then Nick goes out of town on Tuesday morning. I go to town on Tuesday night, but I work all day, so we're just gone through the holidays. We will pick it back up on Monday the following week.
Most likely, week before co-op will be very interesting. Just like, it's going to be fast and loose on how much we're streaming, all that stuff. Because I was talking to the one and only Matt Lucid about this, and I was like, I'm in a spot right now where I don't have time to like add a lot more streaming time to the schedule. Like, I'm not burnt out on streaming. I just understand mentally I've done so much streaming in the past month, especially with the Hollow Knight playthrough. That's like, whoa.
And picking up the slack for me.
Yeah, I taking over a couple Wednesdays, taking over a couple Mondays. And so it's like, yeah, like I don't like have the capability to be like, let's just add 10 more hours of Final Fantasy X in there. But we are going to beat this game before co-op day.
You got to beat it.
So we'll make it happen no matter what. I'm much more willing, though, to get help from the chat at this point. So come in on Monday. It's going to be a great time.
Everything will stabilize in the new year, I promise. The normal stream schedule will go back into place. After Co-op 64 day and everything. So,
and we got some doozies.
I appreciate the patience over the last couple of months on all of that and all the changes. Discord, we have over 2,800 community members talking about games, playing games together, talking about music, movies, whatever else. You can also participate in fan voted videos like grading your top 5 games. You haven't done one of those in a while. We should do another one of those.
Connor, we have for the start of next year. I already have like 6 podcasts on the schedule, and that's not including some of the things we've talked about recently. It's like, we're going to have a bang and start to bonus pod next year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Q&As, fan voted list, all of that gets posted in the Discord. Merch, we have t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs if you want to support the channel that way. And leave us nice reviews on Apple Podcast services. It gets the show out to more people, and we would really appreciate that.
Last bit of housekeeping, Co-op 64 Day. January 3rd, 24 hours of streaming. It is the biggest stream we do every single year, like definitively the biggest stream that we do every single year. If you care about this podcast, I highly, highly, highly recommend coming in for the first hour. This is where we make all of our changes to content, how we want to go and just work in the new year. It is not going to be as insane as last year, where we're announcing a Patreon and the entire suite there and CGNC.
This was the ground layer. This is the base layer for us to build off of.
But now we're building. And like we are making some changes in a very exciting way. I hope that these changes excite you. We have worked a lot to figure out what is the best course forward with Co-op 64. And I like from the bottom of my heart, I can tell you like we got some good stuff. I did a solo shoot bit this past week when I felt like barely alive. I think I might reshoot it because I wasn't feeling the best for one of the things that's going to help close out the announcement video. I'm just like, gosh, like we got some exciting stuff that we're going to be announcing. So get excited. January 3rd, 10 a.m.
24 hours streaming.
24 hours streaming. Twitch.tv/co_op64. The link in the description right now. Go. As you're like, oh, I want to be there right now. Go over to Twitch, hit the notification bell, come right back to this podcast.
There you go. All right, let's hop into the second annual Co-op 64 Awards. Shout out to Chillier Ponies, one of our mods who wasn't a mod when we did this the first time, and that is now a mod, maybe because of this idea.
Yeah, it's such a good idea. You know?
To go through a bunch of different categories, send out a form to the community. We posted it first in Discord, and then had a call to action on TikTok and Instagram and everything, and more people voted on all of these different topics. We're going to go 3, 2, 1 for all of these, for each of these different topics. We are starting off with best character, best indie. We're going to go through about half of them today. We have the other half for next week, including your game of the year,
which is so exciting.
Yes. We are not going to give our game of the year, but we are going to give our winner and runner-up for each of these topics. So we're going to have a little discussion on that. Thank you, everybody who participated and voted. Took a few minutes. It's always fun to get the community involved, and this is always a blast for us to go through and reminisce on the year that was 2025. So
we get 3 podcasts to break down 2025, and honestly, Connor, not enough. It's been a great year. It's been a really great year. So kick us off, bro.
All right, we're going to kick us off with best character, and this is upside down. Do you have any predictions?
A lot of Expedition 33.
I would be correct. At number 3, we have Renoir. And if that tells you anything, at number 2, we have
Verso.
And at number 1, we have Mael. Expedition 33 sweep once again, carrying over from the Game Awards. Renoir, Verso, Mael. Bottom of the top, 3, 2, 1.
Where makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask where are you at with it, and it's like, duh.
I think Mael is the character of the year, and I think that I'm glad that she won.
Not in my top 2, and I do have an Expedition character in my top 2.
I will say, sorry, when I said she is the character of the year, I think when you look at the broad scope of how everybody feels about gaming in 2025 and all the games that came out, all the characters that are in those games, I think Mael is probably the correct choice.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. Especially
not my choice.
Yeah, same. Not my choice.
My runner-up, though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jennifer English. Hell of a performance. For me, the moment in the game, when we'll talk moments down the line, the very end with Verso, his performance, Ben Starr's performance, is like so unbelievably good that like that's the acting moment of the game for the 2 main people there. But they're not my favorite character in Expedition 33. My runner-up is Renoir.
Okay.
Renoir, Andy Serkis. If losing you means killing you, or whatever the fucking line is, I had it earlier. Can't remember it now. Just unbelievable. Just every single time they eat up the entire screen. Like they're so insanely talented. The lines that they deliver are so impactful because all of them are, for a large part of this game, a riddle. Like, you don't fully understand until certain things in Expedition 33 get illuminated to the player. And, like, it's so freaking good. And, boy, oh boy, I assume it's not the last time we're going to talk about Renoir on these podcasts because just so fucking good. So talented.
My runner-up is Mael. Like I said, I think she gives the best performance in Expedition 33, and I think that is a feat because you can look in every direction throughout that game and see a great performance. So the fact that she stands out above the rest, I think, is exceptionally impressive. The arc that she goes on and her journey and the twists and turns as you get later into the game and as you discover more about her character, I'm like, damn, like she really is an exceptional leading character for a RPG. And it never really felt, it was like, is she the main character? You have Gustav like to start the game and like that's who you control, and like as time went on I was like, this game is about Mael.
Yeah, it really is. And then I don't want to overshadow Charlie Cox's amazing performance as Gustav, because the more that I have sat with it,
I think Gustav was number 4.
That's good. The more that I've sat with it, I really love the hope that comes along with him in the early stages of the game, and then the way that shifts. He has like there's like 4 or 5 moments in the game that I'm like, this is like one of the best moments of this game, and it's shouldered by his performance. My winner is Higgs.
Same.
Yeah,
of course.
Higgs, the Baconator, Troy Baker. Holy dude, just what a freaking I have full chills right now. What an unbelievable performance. Troy Baker's best performance potentially,
which is an insane
it's that
sentence.
Or Joel Miller, and it's like it's the fact that there's so few times in my gaming career that I can say, yeah, there's even a performance close to Joel Miller in The Last of Us 1 especially.
Yeah.
So and The Last of Us 2.
What's the fun talking heads line that he has? Same as it ever was.
Yeah.
I love that shit, dude. It's so good. The fact that Kojima was able to make a villain that stands toe to toe across the rogues gallery of Metal Gear Solid villains, and in a lot of ways is above a lot of them, I think is exceptionally impressive to pull off. Like, and like we said, with Troy Baker giving the best performance of his career, I think that needs to be celebrated more.
Yeah, I cannot believe it wasn't nominated for a Goaty. I really
insane. I like Indiana Jones, but like, come on.
Yeah, man. I like Indiana Jones, but also like I can point to multiple Jenga blocks in that category that could have been pushed for Higgs to get in. So I think that we got it right. Ready, Connor?
Yep. What do we got?
Best Indie at the Co-op Awards. Number 3, Blueprints. Number 2, Hades 2. And then number 1, Hollow Knight, Silk Song.
Yesterday, Silk Song and Hades were within a vote of each other. And then today, it's a 10-vote swing between the two. It was very close. But shout out to Hollow Knight Silk Song, man. That is my number 1. And my number 2, because I didn't play a lot of indies this year, Rematch. What a banger, dude. What a fun video game.
My number 1 is Hades 2. Obviously, my number 2 is Rematch.
Yeah.
Rematch, not a better game than Hades 2. Or not Hades 2. Silk Song, I have Rematch around like that 7.5 out of 10. But we just had so much fun.
Yeah.
I love so much that for years, and this is going to sound like a little dorky, but like I legitimately for years we would do content together, and I would talk about like, man, like nothing would be better than like we see this game at like a state of play or something, and it's like, yeah, like let's get the boys on and let's play and let's have a bunch of fun, and then it just wouldn't happen because it's college and we're busy. Rematch was like a moment for us where it was, well, this is our job and this is our channel and we can really do this, and we played as much as we could with an audience. Like we had devs from Rematch come into the chat to say what's up, and like the fact that we were playing their game and everything. I love the Seafood developer Slow Clap. I think that they're just terrific. And by the way, I can't believe I pulled Slow Clap out of my brain. Did not expect that.
I could do that off the top of my head.
But no, they are terrific. And yeah, I knew that Hollow Knight was going to get its flowers. It's going to get its flowers multiple times on this show. But like Rematch is just so much fun. And then Hades 2. When I think about indies this year, I think the sad truth that we need to just accept about Hades 2 is it's the best game this year. Like
you can't just make that statement and expect me to follow along with it.
Connor, you didn't play it.
Most people aren't going to agree with that.
But I
can't just expect them to accept it.
Here's my issue. I think the only way that you can like shift that is if you're somebody that has Expedition 33 or Hollow Knight as a masterpiece. If you say you're like, I played all three and I have Expedition as a masterpiece, and then I have Hades 2 and I prefer Expedition, sure.
Okay, but like in my head, I played Hades 1.
Yeah.
And I imagine that Hades 2 is better. Is a better video game. And even with that in mind, I can think of dozens of games that I played this year that I probably would like more. Potentially. I don't know. I didn't play the game.
Connor,
I'm just saying that like, it's not
I am the ruler of my own opinion, okay?
Yeah, of course. But you're saying that everybody needs to accept it.
It's just a fact in my mind. Water is wet, the sky is blue. Hades 2 is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece and is a full point ahead of every single game that I played this year. And so, I adore that game, but Silksong is just so freaking good. The cogwork dancers and everything, that fight is really sticking with me as time is moving on.
Yeah,
where it's like that is just like simply like what I want in a boss fight, where it is what we talk about all the time, the dance that you get, and this is literally a dance. And the way that fight ends, it's like kind of sad and everything. Right. It's so good. It's so impressive. So yeah, I loved my time with Hollow Knight too.
Shout out to Blueprints. That was number 3 on the board here. Like we didn't get a chance to play it, not our kind of game, but
Connor, I was so
some
close.
People's shit, and I get it.
I was so close, and I know people are going to be disappointed when I say this. I was so close to, instead of diving into Forza for another 10 hours in the past couple days, I was really close to booting up Blueprints. I have it still on my PS5 downloaded. I really want to get to it. I don't think it's on Switch too. I thought about it, like, hey, holiday game, maybe I hop into it. It's going to end up being Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I know is a worse game than Blueprints, but also I just want to catch some Pokemon. I'm having a sort of Pokemon renaissance in my life right now. Blueprints is rad. And that's the other part where it's like, I think a lot of people that played games this year too, that like Expedition 33 is special and also played by so many people. Like, so it's having this like sick moment, but like, I think that Blueprints, if that hits you, it's going to hit you more than any game will this year. That's sort of my feeling across the board on that one.
Yeah.
So
if this is your shit, it's going to be incredibly your shit.
Like there apparently Kevin from Kind of Funny, who went on paternity leave and everything, and he loves escape rooms and everything, and he was like, yeah, like I just couldn't, like I played like 100 hours of this thing. Right. It's like, yeah, like if you like that puzzle mentality of just like working through things, like I regard Portal 2 as one of the greatest games ever, like probably top 5 game ever. And it's because just it's simple puzzle design and everything. And Blueprints is just that. Some people don't like the RG aspects. Totally down with that. But if you do, if it works for you, it works for you.
For my 2 real quick rematch, like you said, just there's better games other than Rematch for sure, but we had so much fun with it. I struggle with like how to rank games that are just pure fun, but lacking in like some level of quality in comparison to others. For like my own personal list, like you said, I think this game is probably like a 7.5 or something like that. And I also look at something like Peak, where it's like that game isn't like
Peak's so much fun,
blowing my socks off by any means, but like it's a blast, and we laughed so hard playing that. Is it us that make that game fun, or is it the game that facilitates us having fun, or is the game just great? You know what I mean? Like I don't know necessarily what the answer is to that, but with all of that in mind, Rematch I just had so much fun with, and that's what I'm putting at my 2.
I heard this on the Min-Max pod, and it is like the quality of Peak. I think this is the easiest way to point to it, is the way that prox chat works in that game, and the fact that you can fall down a mountain and you can go from like that is like actually really game design. Like that unironically, like we can talk about how stupid it is to have the trumpet and everything, and like just having moments like that, but also just like prox chat while climbing a mountain is just genius. Like that is, somebody had that idea and they ran with it, and it paid off in spades to facilitate the fun that you discussed that we were able to have on stream and such.
And then Hollow Knight Silksong, I really enjoyed my time with the first Hollow Knight. I thought it was a great video game. I think I've said this ad nauseum on this podcast and on content, but I think Silksong elevates over the original in every single facet. Some of the best art design in any game ever. The fact that only a few people made this game is incredible. Some of the most rewarding and difficult boss fights in any game ever, but like it's just so fun to throw yourself into the fray over and over and over again. Like I've said to you, the reward for this game of getting to a boss and beating a boss is just getting to experience the boss. Like, I don't even necessarily need an upgrade or anything after the fact because I just had so much fun with the fight. And I just was like, when is the next one? Throw me back in, coach. Like, let's go. Like, I had so much fun with this game, and it was a great time melter as well. Like, I was able to really sink into this world and just let the hours roll by and explore and take on a few bosses and then return to an area and like look at the map and see like, this area is grayed out, so there must be a secret there, maybe I can get to it. And then you go there and you get a new mask shard or whatever and upgrade your health. Like, it all flows so beautifully. It is one of the best Metroidvania games ever created, in my opinion.
I've talked to so many people about this in the past couple days because like I feel broken, like this is one of those moments where it's like hands up, like in my reasoning to me, I've ran through it a few times. I've sent multiple text messages about this game where like they're like, why don't you love it? And I send a block of text of things that all make sense to me. Then I'm like, this is why I don't enjoy this game as much as Hollow Knight, as much as obviously something like Super Metroid or The Lost Crown or a lot of the Metroidvanias that I've experienced in the past couple of years. And it's like, this all makes sense to me. But also when somebody just is like, hey, it has like some of the best boss fights this year, it's like, yeah, no shit. And it's like the art direction is like if someone's like, this is the best art direction ever, I'd be like, yeah, like, so this shit should be in museums. Like, it's gorgeous. The first time Hornet goes through the just very like green and lush environment and the like birds fly behind, I'm like, this is unbelievable. And then the music is redonkulous. And so like when you bring in those facets, I'm like, yeah, I anyone that gives this game higher scores than me, like, every other thing did not work in the game for me, but those things that did were brilliant.
Wow. I'm up, right?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. Best art design. At number 3, we have Hollow Knight Silksong.
Wow.
At number 2, we have Hades 2. And at number 1, in a landslide, we have Expedition 33. Buckle up.
Yeah. I love that we do the podium. Because otherwise this would be a very boring podcast. Expedition 33 has terrific art design. I want to start here. There's been a image of or like a little reel of Gustav and Sophie dancing to Lumiere that has hit my feed a couple times, like people just reposting and such. And as I go back and just like, you have obviously the very French inspired outfits and everything in this world. It's like some of this is just gorgeous. Like, this world is gorgeous. You get to the water environment, you're like, what the shit is happening? The last fight in this game, what they are able to do with, like, I'm like, this is one of the most beautiful like shots I've seen in a game, and it's pulled off perfectly. Like, I really do love the art direction in this game. With that being said, it's not in my top 2, and I don't think it would be on my podium either.
Me neither. I think that's the one area I can really point to for Expedition 33 when you look at all the categories that it won at the Game Awards. I think it probably should have won Best RPG. Like, yeah, I think that's fine. I don't really have much of a gripe with that. I know a lot of people do and think KCD 2 should have won.
Which I'm fine with.
I think art design I should have gone to a handful of other games over Expedition 33. Like, I still think it's great. Yep. But I don't think it's exceptional personally. I think I think a big area that I struggle with when it comes to the art direction for that game is it's really just amalgamation of a lot of different random things. It feels very sporadic. It doesn't feel very cohesive, and I think that could be a positive to some people. Like, wow, like look how varied these environments are, but like there is no thread that kind of makes sense, and they give a reason as to why this world looks the way that it does. But when you're in the moment and you don't know that reason, like it just washes over you as to like, where the fuck am I? Like, why does it look like this? It looks beautiful. It looks really interesting, but there's no cohesion, and I think that personally holds it back for me.
I need a third. I need a podium here, Connor. I need to say a third one. My number 3 is South of Midnight. It's not in my top 2.
Ooh.
I need that. It's my number 3. And I battled. This was one that like Connor was like, hey, by the way, you need a runner up and I was like, oh shit, I only wrote winners. And so I wrote my runner up, and I do believe that my runner up is better art design than South of Midnight, which is crazy. But South of Midnight I think has like unbelievable art design. Like, that game is so gorgeous.
I'm gonna change my 2 then, because I think Hollow Knight
coming in with the kill.
I think Hollow Knight Silksong looks fantastic. Yeah. Like, and think that Team Cherry did a great job with the visuals in that game. I think South of Midnight is really something special. Like it's Silksong is building off of the layer that that the original kind of laid. And for South of Midnight, like I have never seen a game that looks like that.
Yeah,
it looks fucking gorgeous, man.
It's
like when every single time we talk about South of Midnight, it's like this is top of class, that's top of class. It's just the combat that holds it back. And like I think if you play South of Midnight, you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the visuals. Also the enemy design and like the way that well, not the mob enemies, but the boss fights. I'm like, holy shit, those are gorgeous, man.
Gorgeous.
So
the character design too is all often amazing too in that game. So South
of Midnight is my 2.
My number 2, because like I said, I have to give it. I believe that these 2 other games have better art design, and so my number 2 is Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Any of the tar sequences are ridiculous. Like they are so visually impressive. Those are, in my opinion, the best PS5 moments thus far for next gen. When you get the Nirvana moments, just in general, like any of those, I'm like, how good can a video game look? I'll say the fireworks sequence because it's in the trailer and everything. Like, I am still dumbfounded at how good a video game can look, and that it like that looks to me the way that Hellblade 2 looks. Like which is insane because Hellblade 2 looks unreal. Like Hellblade 2 looks better than real life in my mind.
I think Death Stranding 2 is the best looking video game ever created.
Yeah,
because of the scale that these environments have. Like it's exceptional, man. Like the snowy environment, the deserts, like the. I don't necessarily know how to put it. They're not necessarily dream sequences, but the stuff with Neil.
The tar sequences.
So those sequences like are fucking ridiculous, man. Yeah. And like every area is as gorgeous as the last, if not more gorgeous. It's like what amazing. The fuck, man.
And so that's my number 2, and my number 1 is Hades 2.
That's fair.
Every single shot in this game, every single enemy design, every single like the. I think that like I've joked recently that like, oh yeah, like everyone in this game is super hot and everything. It's like these are like legitimate pieces of art when it comes to character design and direction. The fact that they changed art styles to some level from Hades 1 to Hades 2 to like allow all of the like Zeus doesn't look the way that Zeus does in the first one, and they look better. Like, and that's nuts because in Hades 1 they look freaking awesome, and it's insane that they were able to go and like switch this to keep it interesting enough. But also, yeah, like the environmental design too for each new environment that you enter, each new part of the level is like, dude, like I cannot believe how good this game looks, and every piece of design is just immaculate. Like, one of my favorite games to just look at. This is the first game in a long time that I'm like, do they have an art book? Like, I'm not an art book guy. I think that that's like a waste often because I'm like, I get my enjoyment of looking at the game from playing the game. It's like if anything were to go on my coffee table, I would want it to be just like Hades 2. So yeah.
Real quick,
what's your number? Sorry,
it was Death Stranding 2.
Oh, nice.
So South of Midnight, then Death Stranding 2.
Nice.
Death Stranding 2 real fast. Shout out to the Decima engine. Like I appreciate it so much more than I ever have after a year of UE5 looking ass UE5 games.
Yeah.
Like it's like, why do they all look the same? And Decima and Death Stranding 2 and Horizon for that matter is such a breath of fresh air right now that I really appreciate.
It is so good. I don't want to like spoil moment stuff because by the way, Connor, I don't know the answer to all these except for moments and boss fights. Connor doesn't know the answer for moments and boss fights. I do that tabulation because you actually have to like go and really add up, and we got enough votes that it takes quite some time, and I have the time because this is my full-time gig and everything. But I don't want to spoil if this moment comes up. It was awesome to see how many people wrote in the opening of Death Stranding 2 as in like the wide shot, the thing that I just bring up over and over. Like I brought it up like enough times and I was like, I don't know if it's just me, and enough people wrote in. I'm like, it's not just me. Like it's so good. Like I will never forget sitting on that couch and being like, holy shit. And the cool part of this game, and the reason that I go back to it being like one of the best games this year, is like everyone had that feeling. Like it wasn't I'm a Death Stranding fan, so this just works. It is this is one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in any video game ever. And it's just Kojima showing off.
Yeah.
It's just this engine showing off, dude.
This is probably going to be an unpopular take, but I think there's too many needle drops in Death Stranding 2. Is that weird? Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's wrong.
I think that they were so special in Death Stranding 1 when they came up. They were sprinkled out so masterfully, where it was like, this feels very calculated. Whereas in Death Stranding 2 is like every hill you go over, it's like another needle drop. It's like, okay. All right, you're up. Best narrative.
Oh, I'm so curious where this one goes. I think I know what's going to be number 1, but I'm really curious to see what 2 and 3 are. Best narrative. Oh, number 3, Death Stranding 2. Number 2, Dispatch. Number 1, Expedition 33.
First dispatch call of the show.
I need to update my thing. Dispatch is 100% my number 2 on this category.
Yeah. It was nice to when I was making mine, like to be able to utilize the votes as a reference point of like just some games just slip your mind sometimes.
Well, I also didn't. The only ones that I like used the categories. So I was like, okay, what's a 7 out of 10? And I went and scrolled to the forum and saw what we had listed and stuff like that. But something like narrative, I didn't even look at. Dispatch is 100% my number 2. I want to talk some Dispatch real quick. Dispatch is awesome as a narrative. And that's all. It's narrative and characters that are done expertly well. And that's what that game's about. So, like, rock and roll. I don't think that it's a terrific video game experience, but I do think that it's narratively awesome. The bar fight in that game is just, like, so stupid and fun. And these characters, like, it reminds me of the best moments in Guardians of the Galaxy where you would, like, pitch a Guardians movie of, like, why you like this team. And it's like, I just want to be around these characters. I just want them doing fun stuff and quipping and having a good time and laughing. And that is what Dispatch gets to at a certain point. It's like, gosh, I just love these characters. I love their design. I love their way that they interact with each other. Like, some of the moments, of the best moments in this game are like characters high-fiving. Like, just being like, oh, we dislike each other, but yeah, like, good job. Like, what up? It's like moments like that I can't say in a lot of video games, and it's because the character writing is so immensely strong. So that's my number 2. My number 1 is Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 works for me.
What was your number 2 originally?
My number 2 was South of Midnight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, South of Midnight. And I'm okay with like letting that slide because South of Midnight ends poorly. Like, it doesn't wrap up narratively in a great way.
Expedition then for you?
No, Expedition for me is right below South of Midnight when it comes to narrative. Because my biggest issues within that game are narrative issues. Like, I think that there's like multiple things I can point to. I adore or Claire Obscura Expedition 33. Don't get me wrong, it is top in class.
Yeah.
But I like South of Midnight. The reason that the story works for me so well are the individual stories and stops that you take along the way, and the way that those characters are introduced, and it's all just drenched in southern like culture, and it's like so good. It's so good. Like, this game is so good. I'll say this. I don't know if it's gonna make my top 10 this year. I'm really trying to get it in my top 10. I because this is a situation where it's like, I want to give this game flowers for doing what it's trying to. Like, if you ask like what this game is trying to do, and you watch the dev direct, they're not talking about combat too often. This is a team that said, we want to make a game that is like has a bunch of Southern culture in it, trying to tell unique stories that were like told like for a long time in the South, and is super interesting, and let's have an awesome like protagonist to go through this world and go through their own struggles, and it's like with this unbelievable art design that like no one else is really doing, and guess what, they fucking knocked it out of the park. They totally knocked it out of the park. And so I'm really trying, like, I right now is the fun part of the year where it is top 10 season, and it is listening to podcasts, and I'm like, we need to have a serious conversation about that game, because like I understand, like, I'm so okay with the score that you gave it being like, this is a good game, 7 out of 10, awesome. For me, it's that 8.5, and like I even was struggling at a certain point being like, I kind of want to call this game amazing, because like what it's trying to do is so good, but the combat is just too weak to get up to a 9 for me. But like, gosh, I freaking love that story. And then Death Stranding 2's narrative, just broad scopes and everything, I think that it handles grief maybe the best this year out of any game.
Which is saying a lot, because there's another major game that is revolving around that topic.
And like, because I think that Expedition 33 asks more intense questions and like really shakes the foundation of what grief can mean to somebody. But I think that the grief that is understood in Death Stranding 2 is a lot more lived in, like, and a lot more easy to attach to as a player, because it's like I can kind of feel what this character is feeling in these moments.
You made this point on a previous podcast or on a stream or something. I really love it. The fact that Death Stranding 2 deals with grief, but it's more about how others around you deal with you going through grief, and like how it affects them and how they handle that. And I think that's a really interesting perspective for a game to handle that theme.
Yeah, and they knock it out of the park. I'm so thankful we get to do these podcasts, because it just reminds me about like how I feel about some of these games, especially as I'm building out a top 10. I've said it multiple times, and I'm going to repeat it multiple times. There has been times since I've been in Hades 2 where Death Stranding has been in my number 1 spot on my top 10. There's been times where Expedition 33 has been my number 1 in the past couple months. That, like, I'm not bullshitting, like, when I say that. Like, I'm not trying to make it interesting.
We all know what's number 1.
Right now, I can say I'm pretty sure Hades 2 is my number 1 as of right now.
Okay.
But like, as we're talking through this, again, it's like I freaking, as a total package, I think Death Stranding 2 is one of the best games ever. Like, I don't think that it's just like one of the best games this year. I think it's one of the best games ever made. Like, it's so good. And yeah, from a narrative standpoint, I think they knock it out of the park. Also, shout out all the Neil Bonnet sequences and the character dynamic there, because I was enamored every single time that he was on screen.
I will say that this is a weaker year for me for narrative. I think there's a lot of great narratives out there. I don't think there's a lot that like meet how I felt about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth last year, or Silent Hill 2 Remake, which I know following up Silent Hill 2 Remake and trying to hit that level of narrative is really difficult. So with that in mind, like, just understand that, like, I like a lot of these and I think they're great, but I don't really feel super strongly about any of them, to be honest, because when you look at my number 1, Death Stranding 2, I think it has a worse story than Death Stranding 1, but it's still my number 1 for this year. I still think it was the narrative that I connected with the most. And your opinion on how it deals with grief and your perspective on that, I think it really kind of elevated it and locked that game in my mind as something really special.
Which, by the way, thank you. I'm happy that I was able to incept you a little bit on that one.
My number 2 is Silent Hill F, which is hilarious because I gave the game a 7 out of 10. So with that in mind, that is as low of a score as it is because the combat is so fucking bad in that game, but the story is so fucking good. Like, I think if it had no story and it was just the combat, 5 or a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
I really believe that. But I think the story is so engrossing here and deals with some really unique themes, and the way that it's told and how you had to play the game multiple times to get the full story and the full scope of everything, and the symbolism on display here, and not really knowing what the fuck is going on and being able to talk about it after the fact with other people and piece this universe together and the story together with some really exceptional characters. I think Hinako is arguably top 5 character on the year for sure.
Yep.
So yeah, Silent Hill F I think is exceptional when it comes to the narrative specifically.
I did get the entire narrative of Silent Hill F spoiled for me recently, because I'm never going to play that game. Narrative sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds really cool.
We should talk about Expedition 33 since it won this category.
Yes.
I think that this game definitely resonated with people a lot more than it did for me. With that in mind, I still really enjoyed my time with this game, specifically when it comes to a few different aspects. The ends of the acts of this game, there's some decision making in, like, Act 2. I don't love the decision that they made there, but I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
The end of Act 1, I think, is a fucking massive swing.
All-timer.
Like, so when I got to that moment, I, like, immediately picked up the phone and called Nick and was like, what the fuck? That is awesome. That is so cool.
We'll get to it in best moment. Spoiler gloves will come on, by the way. We will have time codes for spoilers for moments.
And like you said, the dealing with grief and how that narrative is kind of woven between all of these different characters and how it feeds into their backstories and the decisions that they make, I think is really powerful. And I get why it resonated with a lot more people than it did for me. So, like, I think it's well deserving of winning this category. Yeah. Not my personal pick, though.
Yeah, for me, the big issue with the narrative in this game is, I don't like the fact that all of a sudden we're going to like big narrative moment happens, and then we do the JRPG of like side quest time, and like now we're just going to the people with the spiky hair and everything, and like it's a total side moment. It's like I felt like we lost juice multiple times in this game, where I'm like, we need to keep the ball rolling. And if they really, and I know this is like a hot take, if they trim down that main story like another 4 hours.
Oh,
like
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Oh, I think that like, because like it could have been a situation where it's so obviously all gas, no brakes, and then I do have narrative issues in this game that I don't want to go like the reason I cannot give this game a 9.5 or a 10 is because there are issues narratively in this game.
I have gone on me about not being direct about what I don't like about the narrative. So like no spoilers, this game is about something for 85% of the game, 90% of the game, and then it becomes about something completely different. And I preferred what it was about originally. Like I liked that story that they were telling, and I think that it's cool that they like twisted it and turned it on its head at the end, and it worked for a lot of people. Didn't work for me personally. I think it undercuts a lot of what happens before that. So that's very vague, but I think if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. I understand being on the other side of that, though. Like I said,
and I've said multiple times in just of the vaguest way possible. Start of Act 2, character gets introduced, makes no sense on their introduction to the party, and the fact that they get accepted into the party immediately makes no sense. And it is a very important thing. Like, is it important? It is the baseline for the entire interactions that happen throughout the rest of this game with these characters.
And with all that being said, like I have problems with that, but that doesn't like ruin the entire game for me. Like I still really like the narrative of this game. It just takes everything down a peg for me. From being like one of the all-time great stories, like a lot of people seem to think it is, which I think is totally fair. For me, though, it's just like it's not up there with like The Last of Us or Silent Hill 2.
I don't want to explain this, but like the first trailer in this game introduces the aspect of the Gamache. Like we see that happen in the first trailer. And we're like, okay, that's cool, that's interesting. The opening of this game is way weaker if you see a trailer in this game. And so a lot of people, that was written in for a favorite moment. Once again, I won't spoil if that made it up there, but like it's very interesting. Well, we're an hour in, about an hour.
No idea. I cannot read that. We have 3 more categories to go over. Like I said, we'll do. Oh, you have 2 over there?
I have 2 over here.
So we have 4 more.
Great.
We have a whole slew of categories next week, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking about Game of the Year, Best Studio, Best RPG, so a lot of fun stuff over there.
Best soundtrack. Hopefully Mario Kart World's number 1.
All right. Best 7 out of 10.
Come on.
We have at number 3, Rematch.
Okay.
At number 2, a tie, Avowed, and Peak.
Interesting.
At number 1, Pokemon Legends Z to A. What were you looking for?
South of Midnight.
Oh, interesting. I can see how far that got up there.
Let me know. Can I see the card just to the tie broke my brain. Oh man, where do I even want to go? I'll start with Pokemon Legends. I think that this is the perfect winner for a 7 out of 10 category.
Yeah.
Like
Avowed was in the lead for a long. This is a tough battle here. It was really close.
Pokemon Legends is awesome. Everyone that's played this game has had at least good time with it. And guess what? It sufficed every Pokemon fan's itch. That like, do people want more from it? Yeah, but we're talking about the best 7 out of 10. And this is a game that a lot of people put a shit ton of time into, had a ton of fun with like just these fun Legends mechanics. I played an hour of it. I want to play more of it. I think that this is a super fun video game, and it works.
So the details for this category, in first place with 56 votes, 12.3% of the vote is Pokemon Legends Z to A. At 11.6% with 53 is Peak and Avowed.
Wow.
And then at Rematch is 50. Then tied for 4th is South of Midnight with 47 and Kirby Air Riders with 47.
Dude, that battle.
And then Assassin's Creed Shadows 42, First Berserker Kazan 38. So like a lot around that 10% threshold, but you had to get a little bit over that to make it here.
I'll say that Avowed barely didn't make my list. It has some of the best RPG combat ever.
Shout out to Avowed. I'm standing on business when it comes to Avowed.
Is it your number one?
No, I still really like that game though, because I don't think it's 7 out of 10. I think it's 10 out of 10.
Well, I wrote South of Midnight because it's in the category and it's the best game in this category.
Thing. Like I put Sound Hell F as my number 2 here because I gave that a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think it's a very good game and it has it's high points, like I said, with narrative. Rematch is my number 1.
It's my number 2.
When are we getting back into Rematch, dude? Come on.
It's so much fun.
Shout out hitting the pitch. That's what it's called, right?
It's the pitch, yeah. Shout out to Keeper, Double Fine's Keeper. Great art design. Like,
I think
truly
that's
amazing.
up there for Hidden Gem. I'm not sure if it was up there for Keeper.
I think that it should have been because I think it's in the 70s. I think it's like a 78 on Metacritic. If it's not, still just unbelievable. I love this category. We get to give some flowers to some of our favorite games this year that aren't necessarily elite. So it's always fun because it's like, man, like I want this to be part of the award show. It's like we get to make our own awards. It's awesome. Best moment. I will say we're putting spoiler gloves on. I will say for what games when, and we'll do it that way. All of it will be time coded down below. I assume that there's Expedition 33 spoilers in here.
Yes.
So just a heads up there.
Well, you wrote the.
Yep.
Do you want to say the games that are? Well, I guess say the games and then.
The 2 games that are on this list are Expedition 33 and Death Stranding 2.
Okay, and my 2 games are Expedition 33 and Death Stranding 2.
My 2 games are also Death Stranding 2 and Expedition 33.
There you go.
So we're gonna start with I'm going to read up the list, but and then trying to think of the best way to do this. Just Death Stranding 2 and Expedition 33 spoilers gloves are off right now because they kind of have to be. Death Stranding 2 we might not need to go into full spoilers. I have a moment that is spoiler-esque.
Yeah. So
we'll get there when we start talking to individuals, but this number 3 is the Death Stranding 2 finale. That doesn't need spoilers for it.
Okay.
Right? But we all understand what that kind of means. Expedition 33, spoiler gloves on right now. Cool. Number 2 is the final decision in Expedition 33, which I think awesome. Number 1, Gustav's death.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm going to probably cry with my stuff. So you go first.
Okay. My number 2 is I wrote this down assuming that I wasn't trying to spoil anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it that way, honestly. Higgs and Fire. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What an unbelievable moment, especially the way it concludes.
Really good shit.
Holy crap.
And then my number 1 is cheating. Lightning Lion from Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and Claire Obscure Ending. Yep. I think I've had my favorite discussions on the internet this year debating the ending and the choices that you can make at the end of Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That is probably my favorite part of the game, is talking about the game. Yep. So, what a blast. Everybody in the Discord chopping up with me and having really interesting discussions and good disagreements. Like, I can understand the other perspective for the ending of this game. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think that is what makes this ending so special and so fun to participate in, play, and then be able to discuss online.
Yeah, continue with Expedition 33 spoilers. I completely agree with everything you said. The final decision in this game has been a blast. Number 2 for me is Gustav's death. I like, we get to go and do something really cool, and like it is genuinely like, I dreamed of the fact of getting like a review code for a game I really cared about, and like getting Astrobot codes last year meant a lot to us. Like that like getting a game that we both ended up giving a masterpiece score to was like super cool, right? But like we get Claire Obscure, and I remember we were shooting this pod and we high-fived because we never want to say on camera when we get a code for something just because we're recording. But we high-five, and I looked at you and I was like, oh shit, like I got this trip to Miami coming up. Like I'm gonna have to grind this game because I had like 8 days to play through Expedition and had to be on streams and I had other work to do, right? I felt like the first person in the world to get to that story moment. Like I felt like I was probably the first reviewer. Definitely wasn't, right? Like there's people all around the world reviewing games and getting codes for stuff. But I felt like I was the first person in the world just having to sit in this moment, and I had no one to talk to. And it was so special. Like it was so insanely special to just be like, wow, the stones that it took to kill off the main character in this game is legendary.
I love moments in games where they're so mind blowing that I have to go in the other room and just talk to Laura. She's like, I know you don't care, but I need to explain what just happened because like this is blowing my fucking mind.
Yeah,
that was one of those moments.
And I was waiting for the phone call from Connor. I was waiting for the phone call from Jacob. I was like, this won't be a text either from either of the boys there. Like, holy smokes. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. It's a terrific moment. I do think the moment, and this is like once again poking the Jenga block a little bit, is lessened when you go back into combat. Like you get sliced and then you go into combat for a moment. And then you get
like
back.
that.
I wish that I wasn't a fan of that. They should have just taken him out. Or I wish that like he walked up and like before like it was a little bit more clear that he wasn't dead. Like he was going to die. Like there was combat before the slash.
I was in denial for so long. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna get resurrected somehow, or like there's something magical that's gonna happen. They like held onto his arm. I'm like, they're gonna use that to bring him back or something like that. I was like, there's no way.
And then I mean, with some of the ending stuff, he's back on screen. It's awesome. But I do love the ending.
Awesome.
I do love the ending of that game, and I love the different versions of the ending. I didn't put in the lightning line as you.
That shit fucking rules.
That is because boss fights with like that's where my mind.
That's kind of why. I
oh, by the way, that was also mentioned. It wasn't mentioned enough to get it, but that was mentioned by a lot of people. Was that moment? Because also I would even say before the boss fight starts, you get Andy Serkis his best moment in the game with his discussion with Verso. So like rock and roll. My favorite moment from this year. And this is spoilers for Death Stranding 2. It's a very slight spoiler. It's not narrative even, but it is a spoiler. Is Low Roar's first title drop. That shit meant something to me. Like, Low Roar is now one of my all-time favorite music artists. Death Stranding 1, I only care about that game because of the music. Like, the music, like, Low Roar's music and Death Stranding are one and the same. And so it was so hard to imagine Death Stranding 2 without that music. And so you go and you get Woodkid, and Woodkid's awesome. And minus 61 to open the game is so fucking good. But like the second that Low Roar came on screen, I literally was like a fucking mess. I just I had to stop walking. Like I couldn't push forward because if you don't know, Low Roar has since passed after Death Stranding 1, and I was like, I just can't imagine this game without this creator. And so it was so good, and every single time it came up, I felt like this person was still here almost. And I'm not like I don't like follow this person on Instagram. I don't know who this person is personality wise, but like you can tell they put their whole soul into the music that went into Death Stranding 1, and to have a piece of their soul left behind for Death Stranding 2 meant so much to me. So when it comes to the moment that happened, I'm like, this is by far my favorite moment in gaming this year. And it just meant something to me. It was so good. And we haven't been able to talk about it because it's a spoiler, right? Because I don't want to take that moment away from the Death Stranding people that like really loved. But also like I want people to play Death Stranding 1 and then play Death Stranding 2 because like that is so impactful and so powerful, and they're so good. Like the music too, and like by the way, the best music in Death Stranding 2 is all Low Roar tracks, in my opinion. Like I love Woodkid's music, but like the first time
it fits like a perfect puzzle piece in that universe for some reason. Like
exactly like Death Stranding and Low Roar are the same thing to me.
Yeah.
And
Low Roar didn't make music for Death Stranding, as I understand it. The music already existed, but like it feels like it was made for Death Stranding.
Like the first time I was not sold on Death Stranding 1 until Don't Be So Serious came on, and then you get the track that hit me the most in Death Stranding 2 was a song called Give Up, and you see that and you're like, oh man, this is about to be sad as fuck. And you get to the end of the track and it's an acoustic piece, and the last line's in there, don't give up on me, and I fucking lost it. Like I think that video games are so cool, and I'm so thankful that Kojima and Low Roar's people were able to be like, this matters, because like it mattered to me. And like I could like literally just imagine those discussions being like, there's gonna be somebody out there that like this is so important to them, and I want to shake those people's hands and be like, thank you so much, because like it did matter to me so much. So yeah, that is by far my favorite moment this year. Really impactful. It's really good.
We need to get a cry tally on for our podcast because I feel like the number has shot up this year.
It's gone
we
up.
both cried like a ton on this podcast.
But yeah. All right,
you can't
spoilers.
make me cry too because I'm all snotty already from being sick. You're making it way worse.
Spoiler walls are down for Death Stranding 2 and for Expedition 33.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay,
let's talk about multiplayer.
best multiplayer. Okay.
Oh gosh.
We have.
I need to in the future for these pods bring some tissues.
Right. At number 3, we have Arc Raiders. At number 2, we have Battlefield 6, and at number 1, we have Split Fiction.
Yes.
I think it was Mike from Kind of Funny when they were talking about their predictions for each category for the Game Awards. He made a point. He's like, Split Fiction is like not a multiplayer game in the same way that Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders are. It's couch co-op. It's more of it's a campaign. It's a story experience rather than this like multiplayer hop on with your friends and kind of just fuck around type of game that you look at Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders taking over this year. It fit into that category. I would also argue that something like Peak fit into that category better.
Yeah.
Split Fiction is probably the best game on the board here. It's the best video game. I don't know if it's the best multiplayer game. It's the RPG argument for the Game Awards this year with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Expedition.
But guess what? Expedition should have won that category and Split Fiction should have won this one. So, but Split Fiction is my number one. I can make a very dialed in argument that it's the best couch co-op game ever. I love Split Fiction. I think that the narrative is weak, not bad. Definitely weak though. I think that Hazelight, this is Hazelight top of their game. Like they are so good at making couch co-op games. And I think that every single one that they've done before, I've had things to point to that I'm like, this needs to be better. This needs to be better. This needs to be better. It Takes Two is not in the same league as this game, in my opinion. Like I like not only am like I'm a point away. I gave It Takes Two an 8. I gave Split Fiction a 9. I'm like Split Fiction is closer to a 9.5 to me than an 8.5 by like quite a bit too. Like I think that Split Fiction is just so good and the gameplay is just so good. And by the way, best moment, Split Fiction finale was really hard for me not to put it there. Like that was almost my number one. Couldn't be number one. I fucking cried on this podcast. Like, it could be number two because I felt like I had a wholly unique experience with my number two moment. But like, that finale is so good. It deserves to win this category. My number two is Night Rain because Night Rain freaking rules, dude.
Oh, fuck! I forgot about that.
Change your list, Connor.
Number one is Night Rain. Number two is Rematch.
Okay,
I had Battlefield 6 on there. I'm not a big multiplayer guy in general, but Night Rain is so special.
Good. We will get Night Rain on a schedule.
We have to. We have to do the DLC, dude.
It's so much fun.
Oh man, I'm ready to dive back in.
Let's get Brady.
He said he really enjoyed it.
Also, Rogan really wants to play too. So we can work something. We can work something.
We gotta get that going.
All
right.
Last category of the Co-op Crybaby Awards. For Best Co-op 64 Stream, this is. Oh, by the way, we have 3 categories that are self-indulgent. I would say that that is us and what we did in our year, and we do also want to celebrate our year. This is a reminder to you and to our audience. This is a 3-person operation that is hard. I'm the only one that is full time. I love what I get to do. I will put my ass on the line every single time to make sure that we continue to do cool and fun stuff. But the way that you've stepped up this year, the way that Brady stepped up this year to allow the streaming side of things is what we're talking about. It's been a very special year of streaming. So I'm very thankful for you guys. And thank you for our amazing Twitch audience that watches these streams and funds these streams at times. So thank you. Number 3 is Brady Born. Number 2 is the Persona 5 Marathon stream. And number 1 is the RDR2 Subathon.
Basically the Nick celebration category for the long marathon streams, but also Brady Born starting off the year strong with one of my favorite games of all time, and watching Brady hate that game and then like that game and then love that game. It was a treat.
It's awesome. It's so my number 1 is Brady Born.
Interesting.
that stream is like kind of really special to what we want to do here at Co-op 64, which is like when I pitched Co-op 64 to you guys, I'll never forget drawing the Venn diagram for our mother, being like, okay, this is how Brady really fits in, and like he's gonna be able to play games on stream that Connor and I have already played and have it be special because a majority of the audience have already played it, but Brady hasn't. And Brady leaned all the way in. Like he was like, I'm going to get my ass handed to. I'm going to be bad. This is going to be frustrating. And to see the way that man, like what we get to see behind the scenes is the way he came off stream that first time. And he's like, like this is a lot. Yeah. And then just working through it, like, and seeing him fall in love is one of his favorite games ever. And if there's anything, like, I almost prefer watching somebody fall in love with a game that I love more than I enjoy falling in love with a new video game. Like it is so unique, and getting to do that with Brady was so much fun.
My number 2 is a bit self-indulgent. We're going with Parasite Eve.
Oh, nice.
One of my favorite games of all time now, and the viewers seem to really enjoy that experience. Man, what a special fucking video game, man. Just so sauced the fuck up. The vibe of Parasite Eve is fantastic. I love me a good PS1 style, visually blocky a game, but also just has a lot of like visual flair to it. And I really love Parasite Eve, and that was such a treat to play along with everybody watching on stream. My number 1 is Red Dead Redemption 2 Subathon. What a blast being able to tune into that and get reminded of how special Red Dead Redemption 2 is, and those moments of me coming in and being like, I cannot believe you're playing another mission that is one of the best missions in video games, period. And then I would leave and then come back and I was like, another one? Are you kidding me? And getting to see you experience a lot of those special moments in that game was really special.
That's my number 2. The most vulnerable I've ever been on stream. Like straight up. Like I think about the Christopher Judge line where he's like, do I want to like go there and like talk about certain things and stuff like that? And for me, it was ending the big game. I was like, the amount that I related to Arthur Morgan from just my experience this year was like something that impacted me so deeply and so richly. And I was willing, I was like, I wanted to immediately get off camera and like be like, handle my business elsewhere with the tears and the discussion. And instead I was like, no, like, one, if anything, if there's any reminder, it is a good thing to show your emotions. Be honest with yourself, be real with yourself. And if that means showing your emotions to a couple hundred people, awesome. But I'm not going to go and taint this experience by not like being there with y'all. Because that's you guys were willing to support it. You guys were willing to watch tens of hours. I'm not going to cheap out on this experience because this experience meant something to me. And I think it meant something to anyone that watched me going through this entire narrative. Alongside that, it's just one of the best games ever. And the discussion that we were having and the debates that we were having of that versus God of War 2018 and the moments of just like who's your favorite character, and some of the sequences in this game were just like unbelievable. Some of the missions in this game, it's impossible to choose a favorite mission. I have a favorite mission. It's impossible to choose a favorite mission. Like whenever me and the boys are rolling to go and mess some shit up, I just imagine it being like Dutch walking up to the mansion at this point. Like that is like just so cold. With it's like squad, it's dude. Like it almost reminds me of the scene in The Town with Ben Affleck being like,
never seen The Town.
Oh, well, slight spoiler for The Town. It's not anything. It's just, you've probably seen this clip online and such. And he goes up to Jeremy Renner and he's like, okay, we're gonna hurt some people. You're never allowed to ask me some questions about it. We got to do this. And then Jeremy Renner's like, which car are we taking? Like, it is like, it's no questions asked. Like, let's go. Let's mess some stuff up. It is that to like the highest degree because all these characters you now understand so well and are so into. The game describes loyalty and family and your willingness to be better than a majority of games I've ever played. So it was so special and one of the best games ever. And I have since gone back and rewatched Connor's amazing top 50 on it. I did that like 2 weeks ago, and I think it's probably your best script ever, dude.
I think that and the Last of Us Part 2 script.
Yeah,
I really kind of
Cooked?
I think I got I think I got better and better as I went along. Right?
Yeah.
I really kind of settled into what those videos were, and I like when you get to the top, you have just a lot of passion about these really special video games.
Yeah.
So like talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like, man, like there's so many areas to dig into that like I can point to and be like, banger, exceptional, top of class, fantastic, and like American Venom.
It's one of the best scripts that you've ever written, and it's also just one of the best pieces of content we've ever produced. Go check out top 50. Go check out Connor's, especially the top 3. I think that your top 3 writing. I also watched your Metal Gear. Like those videos, we have it still in a playlist, and people are like, "Why do you have this as your only playlist?" I'm like, "Because this is still some of the best content we've ever produced."
Maybe we should. I don't know how this process would work, but maybe we should just take those and like do like 50 to 25 and like throw it in a video or whatever, just to like have it in a central area. Like, I don't think people are going back and watching all of those on TikTok.
People are. They're, every now and then I'll go and I'll open the app and I'll see the feed.
I mean, we can still
everything.
keep it there, but like I'm just saying, like I would like that to be in one like central area if we can, like 50 to 25 or 26 and then 25 to
that
21.
would be cool to supercut together for YouTube one day.
Yeah.
Like a 3-hour video of
you split the two, and I think then it would probably be an hour a piece, probably.
That would take a lot of work.
And also you would go on this journey of seeing the quality of the visuals change and like the sound change, and then also like what the idea was for it and how seriously I took it, because I sat down to do those first 2 and Nick was like, yeah, okay, so you make the top 50, and I was like, does it need to be scripted? You're like, no, just like sit down and like talk or whatever. And I was like, okay, and I was not good at that at that point, so like I just like am kind of falling over myself for the first 2 videos, and then I like take it a little bit more seriously and like make bullet points, and then we're gonna script this whole thing, or I'm gonna I think by the time we got into the top 30 or so, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write every single episode of this.
I was talking to Rogan about this because a lot of the content he produces is scripted content. Like you can see that he wrote something out and stuff like that. Very, very good. Like one of the best scripted content creators I've seen. But it's like, it's cool to come on a podcast with you because it's working a different muscle and everything. Like it's the only thing that we don't do enough. It's like, you're so freaking good at scripted content. You're so good at getting your thoughts together and writing them in a way that's so understandable.
I haven't written something in a long time, but for Game Club with Mario Galaxy, I wrote like a quick synopsis of my overall feelings about halfway through because I couldn't finish it in time. And I was like, man, this is fun. I should do more of this.
All right.
We will be back next week with part 2 of the Co-op 64 Awards. Thank you to everybody who voted.
I was about to say, Game of the Year, Best Soundtrack. Do you think I cried tonight? Wonder what we're going to talk about when we get to the soundtrack, Connor. Oh, man.
So appreciate everybody participating. Appreciate you listening to this podcast. This show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. If you support us at the highest tier, you get your name right at the end of each and every podcast. Members like Jay Bubba,
Squiddelicious,
Silent Hills X,
Blake has a dog,
Cash R,
Chaboy Jake,
Jakey P,
Pigeon Power,
Library Daniel,
Tyler,
Sir Shellis,
Raincoat,
Ooh Gracie,
Trusar,
MG Dunbar.
I'm going to pause it right here. By the way, there will be podcasts that we shoot in December when we have the December names that will go up in early January. Just a heads up, if you like are somebody that's like been in December and it's January 1st and like Game of the Year pod is going to have December names. I just want to like toss that out there because we have to pre-shoot certain things for Co-op Day, stuff like that. So sorry.
Did you say Munchies?
No, I'm on Munchies.
Okay.
Actually, Ooh Gracie.
What?
I went back a couple.
Choozar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
Proto Dan,
The Dankest Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Strack in 1978,
Centuro,
Hook'em Horns,
Gonash,
Neutral Sphere,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules,
Stooby Dooby,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Wooly,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Metal Nate,
Patty Cake,
Bear Pog,
Cowboy Jesus,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Hold'em,
Colin C,
Brack,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Cannon Fodder Games,
Only One Rufus,
J Mappy 3,
Ali Benali,
Michael.
and Kingdom Hearts Sucks. Thank you for joining us in this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.